It took away her paper.
Oh, mean. I made proper skin and everything. Well, this is a bit unwieldy, but it'll still move fine.
Hello everybody, Makers Art Dexter, back at it again to give y'all another very exciting video, and for today I'm going to be reviewing a certain scientific Railgun T episode 22 called Doppelganger. And if you haven't already done so, you can go ahead and click that card in the corner and check out my episode 21 review. You can so happen to miss it, need a quick little recap on that before I go ahead and dive up into this 22 review. And just right off the bat, my early impressions with this. Man, oh shoot, it's about time that we're getting in the thick of things and we're getting a little bit more action stuff. Finally get to actually see what the whole entire Indian poker thing was all about and how that played into the greater scheme of effect, which honestly I thought was going to have a much greater impact given the fact that, you know, the type of content that we got within the first early episodes within the Dream Ranker arc. And I thought it was going to have a much greater effect than what I thought though. But this new cyborg girl, oh shoot, this girl knows how to fight and throw down though. And honestly, the whole entire thing going on with her, with the soul dwelling within her and stuff, and how, you know, she takes so much damage and she can probably control inanimate objects and things of that nature. I'm like, dang, it's really making me think, how the heck are they going to wind up beating beating this girl, or if I can even allow to say girl, or this robot at the end of the day though. But that is going to be super interesting as we're going a little bit further on within this arc though. But a lot of different things I have to say about this episode though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight up into this episode review of a certain scientific Railgun T. So last episode formally introduced Ryoko Kuriba, the girl with the black and white hair who was split into two cyborgs and then reunited into separate flesh and blood and all machine bodies. This episode explains more on the particulars of her situation and the potentially dangerous consequences of what happened to her. It also explains the truth behind the Indian poker cards, while also, for mostly unrelated reasons, drawing the scavengers into the active mix. Of course, all of this is ultimately just an excuse for a superpower mayhem, but would you really expect anything else from this franchise? Shokuhou reading Ryoko's memories and thus allowing the viewers to see her backstory brings up several interesting points. The first is that Ryoko's alternating black and white colored hair is apparently natural rather than being the result of the cyborg experiment, as even the youngest shots of her in her memories feature that pattern. Strange, but not a big deal by Academy City standards. The second is that the cyborg experiment was self-motivated, at least on Ryoko's part anyway. And the third and biggest point is that Ryoko not only proposed the project but volunteered to be its subject. That lessens the moral and ethical consequences of the adult scientists, but does not necessarily mean that they're off the hook, so to say. And it still glosses over how the split could have been accomplished even to begin with without even killing her. I mean, look at the way how even her face was divided up. Like, that clearly meant that they had to chop her brain up in half. I'm like, what the freak? Like, we already saw a big old giant brain associated with Shokuhou earlier within that first arc though, but my gosh, my golly, they be doing some crazy stuff in Academy Cities though. And it honestly, if you try to sit down at the end of the day and think about it, stuff ain't really gonna be adding up. So you just gotta have to take it as you see it though, because you think about it too much and it's just gonna completely go over your head, and it's just gonna hurt your head though. So just don't try to focus on it, at least not too hard anyway. Now, the part that Ryoko willingly relates are also interesting. One is the idea that the cyborg soul could effectively possess things other than just its machine body if that body is sufficiently damaged. This ultimately justifies how the doppelganger can pull the classic stunt of using materials from the surroundings to reconstitute and/or grow her body after it has been damaged, which creates the vexing problem that destroying parts of her can only worsen things, possibly even catastrophically so. Another revelation gets to the heart of Indian poker. That is actually a roundabout information gathering tool which Ryoko is using to figure out exactly how to deal with the doppelganger should she go rogue. I have to sympathize with Misaka being, less than pleased with Ryoko about that one, since Ryoko clearly either disregarded or did not consider how much trouble the Indian poker could cause in carrying out that mission. Then there's the Scavengers, who cannot catch a break. As dark side groups go, it's no wonder that they have not achieved the cool name that the groups like Item and School have. They crossed the rank 1 level 5 back in a certain scientific accelerator, and now they must deal with the rank 3 level 5. That's on top of being in over their heads against Doppelganger 2. They do get a good action exchange with Doppelganger, who is frightfully powerful even without the special ability, to the point of raising questions about why Ryoko's experiment was done with seemingly combat grade components. Looks like the next episode should be plenty of fun as the Scavengers try to navigate this mess. And that's pretty much all I have to say about, this week's episode though. But man, I gotta say, the action's picking up, a lot of good things going on though. This, Ryoko as a whole, I'm like, this really makes me think, like, how the heck are they really gonna beat this girl? I'm kind of debating whether or not either to call this thing a girl or a robot, but I'll just stick with girl since it just sounds easier and rolls off the tongue a little bit better though. But how in the world are they gonna beat this crazy robot girl at the end of the day? Because you hit her too hard, you bust her up, now she's controlling inanimate objects as well. And it just makes you think, like, well, dang, if you destroy the whole entire thing, what happens if she just takes over the whole entire Academy City and basically controls, like, every, electronic thing that's out there or whatever, though? It just makes you kind of think, like, how the world are they really going to beat this one? So I'm kind of scratching my head over here. I don't really have any, ideas as to, like, how this will essentially play out as we're going into these last few episodes for this arc and for this Railgun T series as a whole, though. But you know what? It kind of got my interest now, and I'm like, I really don't know exactly what to expect going forward within the future though. But honestly, some good stuff is definitely playing out within this arc though. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below, what all do you think about this episode, and what y'all think might actually possibly play out for the rest of this arc as we approach these final episodes. So that about does it for this week's episode review. So if you really like this review, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things a certain scientific Railgun T that's happening this season, y'all. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.
You saved us, Naru.
Huh? I am Scavenger's ace. No need to thank me for doing what comes natural.
What are we supposed to do now, leader? First, we meet up with Seke, who should really be back by now.
The one in the sailor uniform? Try looking on the ground back there. Shouldn't have messed with me, that wouldn't have happened. Is it safe to assume you're all a group then?